Linux, like any other operating system, almost any other operating system, is going to provide you with a file system, a set of directories or folders, if you call them that, and files inside those directories. And there's basically a hierarchy of these files, these folders, directories with directories under them. Eventually you get files underneath all those, right? Now you see this in every operating system, Windows, Mac OS, Android, whatever, you see a file system. Note that a system without an operating system, like take Arduino, it doesn't have a file system, right? Even though you have, even if you have data inside of memory, like an EEPROM or something like that, and you want to write to the EEPROM, read from it, you can write raw data and read raw data, but you just give raw addresses. You say, I want to write to address 0 this data, address 1 that data. You don't have a file system with names and a hierarchy, convenient names and a hierarchy of directories and all that. You don't have that without an operating system. So this is one of the things an operating system provides is a file system. Now, it's always a hierarchy. So use these backslashes to name to separate the different parts of the path. So the path is basically the list, the hierarchy path, the path through the hierarchy, through all the directories concatenated together into the path. And that the path is the entire name of the file. So the file will have a name, a local name, but its path will list all the directories above it from the top. So in Linux, the top level directory is called backslash. So you can see in our picture, you got a backslash right there. That's the top level, highest level directory. Then under that, on my Raspberry Pi, I've got 4 subdirectories under that: bin, etc., home, and user. Then under the home directory, I've got another directory called Pi. And under the Pi directory, I've got 3 more directories: desktop, Indie City, and Python games. This is what my file system hierarchy looks like. And then actually, as I'm working, I have a bunch of files on the desktop. So under desktop, I would have a set of files, the actual files that I've made and stuck on the desktop. There's this file system hierarchy, and you have to be able to traverse this hierarchy in order to access files, to use different files inside your system, to run them and execute them and modify them and so on. So that's sort of a basic feature in any operating system, is to allow you to traverse the hierarchy of the file system. So let's say we want to do this from the command line. We want to do it in our text-based interface. So first thing you want to know is the pwd command. Pwd tells you what directory you are currently in. So when you've got a terminal running a shell, that terminal is going to be in a particular directory. It has a directory that it is sitting in, that is looking at, okay? And you can change that directory, but it's always going to start off in some default directory. And you can move up and down through the hierarchy. But pwd tells you where you are in the hierarchy right now. So if I type pwd like I do here, it says /home/pi. So that tells me what directory I'm in right now, /home/pi. And so if I make a file right now, it would appear in that directory. If I delete a file, it'll delete it from that directory, and so on. So it just reports the directory that you're currently in. Thank you.